Welcome back to our next video where we will now talk about cover letters. Cover letters, most people, well, a lot of people think that having a cover letter is not important. It is, and we will discuss that here. We'll be talking about cover letter basics, tailor application, so your cover letter, make sure that it's tailored for the application. We're going to write one. Increase responses, because having a cover letter, it actually makes it stand out a bit more. So the hook. So the hook is the attention then. Your cover letter must grab attention in the first 2-3 lines. Okay, because that's the first 2-3 lines they're gonna read in your cover letter. Mention the role and company, and state a clear value proposition why they should read further. Generic openings like I'm applying for, they're ignored. So you need to make sure that it's tailored for the position and the company. We kind of discuss that a bit more later. So basically, a cover letter is more like a why. Why you? Your CV is who you are, what you can do. But your cover letter is why you. So it's very important that the why is strong as well. Connection. Show that you understand the company's mission, values, or current projects. Demonstrating awareness proves you have done research and signals genuine interest, which recruiters notice immediately. Go to their website, for example. Go to their website, see what they're looking for, see what their mission is, go to their About Us page, read through it, see if you match that, right? Make a cover letter based on that. Because if you just go to their website and you see the About Us page, there'll be a lot of information there. You can use that. So if we open a blank document and write your opening paragraph, include the company name, role, and 1 to 2 specific ways you can add value. Follow along line by line. Okay, so if we, first of all, let's just go to Google Maps. Just go to like tech company. So just type that in and just go to any of these. Just an example. Let's say you're applying for this job or this company, they have a role advertised and you're applying for this one. You go to the About page. And you just read through this, right? Read through it. See what they want, what they're about. We support businesses across the UK, combine expertise with a responsive, customer-focused approach, helping them build secure, reliable networks with quality projects and value-added services. It's quite vague, to be honest, not too much specifics. But they use networking products, right? Servers, laptops, desktop, mobile phones, monitors, cybersecurity software, security cameras, accessories, and more. So, for example, this one here, in this section, it says that they use networking products, right? That they have networking products, servers, laptops, desktop, mobile phones, and etc. So you can mention that in the cover letter that you're there to improve their networking products, or that you have lots of experience in networking products or servers. You have so much experience and skills using laptops or building laptops even. Just use those information. That's because that's their solutions, right? Companies have problems, and their solutions, this company as a whole, are these. So if you add more solutions to their problems, it's a no-brainer for them to hire you, right? So you need to mention these in your covering letter, okay? Okay, so even here as well, IT services, professional services, managed services, break fix, consultancy, pre-sales, engineering, configuration, and technical support. definitely something you need to have in your cover letter and your CV. When it comes to the cover letter, mention that you have made, networking products, or you work with networking products. You've been doing professional IT services before, and that's the reason I would be a good fit. So if I do, for example, just quickly, just an example, apply for this role. This on ChatGPT. This is what they are, or who they are. Here's what they are. So write me a tailored cover letter for this role as a, let's say, working engineer was the role. Okay. I just want to see how, I just want to show you what I mean with the cover letter, especially the top part. Right. Okay, with a strong background in design and deploy and support enterprise networking solutions. See, he mentions the networking solutions that they are doing as well, which means that they, there's a combination there. They'd be a good fit. So that's what you should do as well. Right, just do more, deeply, more thoroughly, go through more than one company and etc. Okay, I'm just throwing you as an example, not too much in depth, but just an example. Okay, so if you go back here, then right. So in your cover letter, write 2-3 sentences describing a problem and how you would solve it. Okay, so you can describe a problem. I'm actually gonna use this as well for a prompt. So you can say, I need this in the cover letter. Okay. Again. Yeah. So in my previous role, I supported a client experiencing frequent network outages and performance degradation due to misconfigured switching and how to the firewall rules, right? So you're now mentioning your previous experience as well, which is, a problem here, describing a problem. I'm describing a problem, frequent outage, and then how I solved it. Then you continue here, how you solved it. I'm just giving you an example of the format, okay, of the cover letter, how it should be related to the role as well. So you go to the companies about us, who they are, what they are doing, their problems, their solutions, and just adjust that to your cover letter. And your cover letter needs to be tailored for the specific job title and role. Okay, so not just the job role and that's it. No, to the actual job application, right, for that specific company. They need to be there. Okay, so that's how it is as a format based. And then we move on to the tailor section. And of course, when you do these cover letters, they need to also be tailored, just like the CV, right? I've been mentioning this over and over and over. It needs to be tailored for the role. And that's what I showed you. We created a quick cover letter based on their company, right? For them. So what you do then, you would review the job description and pick 3 to 5 key skills or requirements that is on the CV, on the job description, sorry. Mention them naturally in your cover letter with concrete examples. This shows your direct fit for the role, right? So let's say this company here, right, that we checked in or checked out, and they were looking for, a software engineer or software developer for this role. Okay, you would go through the CV or the job description that they were looking for, the requirements and all that, and then who they are, what they're about, and then you match that to your cover letter, okay, to make it more tailored for the role. Okay, so let's say that same company was was hiring, and most likely they'll be hiring a software developer, right? And you just do that. But if you go to a real example, you go to Indeed, and put down software developer, okay? And then you can go to this one, for example, and then you go to the skills that they're looking for, requirements, and they have, for example, here they have Scrum, Kanban, okay? I'm pretty sure these will have Python as well somewhere. Maybe not. You can also do Control F. Python, that doesn't exist. Okay, SQL. No. Okay. Let's see if we can find something else that has more specific skills. Right here, C Sharp. Okay, C Sharp, .NET, .NET Core. Okay, it's a good skill to have. So they need to definitely be in your cover letter. Okay, so you would identify 3 to 5 main ones and then mention them in the cover letter. Okay, so again, we go back to the cover letter we created. You can say something like, make sure SQL is mentioned and C Sharp, for example, or whatever skills that is required. Just put that in. Mention as C Sharp and naturally to show them I am skillful in those. Okay? And it's naturally, remember, it can't just be, randomly that. Here, along with experience in SQL and C Sharp. Boom, straight there. Okay? So if you go back now, here. Right, so let's say we want to become a carer, for example. So to carer and then location in London. And then make sure so you can find the actual company that's looking for a carer or whatever that is you want to become, and not the actual recruiter, because a lot of companies use recruitment agencies. But which is fine, you can still apply for those. But for this example, or this circumstance, we want to get into the actual company's website or their information. And the best way to do so is if you go to posted by, you click on employer. And that way, you only get jobs where the employer only posts it. So for example here, you can apply on company site. And this is a weird website. Right, looks like, yeah, this is a recommend. So let's find something else. Let's go to this one, probably better. Yeah, that company was a bit cheaty. Right, does it look like this has a website? Right, however, the name of the company is here. So if we go, paste that in here, and there we go, there's company. You click on it, go to About Us page. Man, let's just continue without consent here. About Us, we help you stay in familiar surroundings, providing services that reflect your personal circumstances, okay? Our team of fully qualified and experienced carers is led by Richard J. Barnett, whose 30 years of experience in the field and his hands-on management approach has allowed us to build lasting long-term relationships with the people we care for. Okay, so this is a key word here. I would say long-term relationships with their patients or with their clients, meaning straight away, if you're a carer, you want to apply for this job, you need to focus on being being able to provide long-term care or relationships with them. Okay, so you can use this in your covering letter. And there is a cheat on how to provide one we can do. You can just copy all of this, right? All of this. Their about us page. And let's get a new one here. You know what that was. Right, and then just the prompt. This is a company I apply for, right? Write me a cover letter for this company. Now the thing is, ChatGPT is gonna make a tailored one. See, look, tailored cover letter. And when it comes to the cover letter, it doesn't have to be wow, you know, it doesn't have to be insanely good. So ChatGPT is actually good enough to create one for you. You may be able to do, you may need to be able to do some tweaks here and there to make it fit your personality and your CV as well. So this one way to do it, because most people don't actually send their cover letters. So if you do, it doesn't have to be that good. Like it doesn't have to be crazy, because you're already one step ahead of them anyway. Right? If you can do a few tweaks here and there, and then you sort it for the cover letter. Okay, and then just do that over and over for the other roles. So, problem solution. Identify a challenge the company is likely facing from the job advert, website, or news, and show how you can help solve it. For example, I can improve social media engagement by creating targeted content campaigns that increase conversions. So, like we did, we went through the website, went through the job advert. We see the news, but not all of them have news. But if there is, go through it, read about it, see if there is an issue over there. And you can mention it in the covering letter as well. Evidence. Support every claim with a brief example from experience, project, or internship. Recruiters want proof, not promises. Short, measurable achievements are best. So when you give them some sort of a solution to them, or you mention that you can solve a problem that they might have, prove it as well. Prove it in your CV, in your experience, that you have done it before. That's very good to do when a project. So in your cover letter, write 2-3 sentences describing a problem that they may have and how you would solve it or can solve it. Make it specific and results focused. So if we go back, maybe we can find something here, not sure. But if you go to the job here, at least, so they're looking for a living carer. So you have to actually live with the patient. Okay, what are their requirements here? A minimum of 12 months experience as a professional carer with a living care setting. Okay. 2 contactable and check references. Okay, that's just basic requirements that they may have or need. Okay, Charlie Home have assignments available to start in the south of England. So they are in the south of England. The route can be flexible. Okay. We're currently looking for drivers. Right. So in your CV, make sure, and in your covering letter, that you drive. So that might be a problem then. And you can solve it by just having a driver license if you have one. That's a good example here. So make sure that's in your covering letter. So if you put this here, or you copy that and then put it here, and say in the job description, they mention they are okay. Both drivers, height and drag. Mention it in the cover letter and make it seem like I can solve the problem regarding that. 10. Still. It mentions, ChatGPT mentioned here, having learned that you are specifically seeking drivers, I am pleased to confirm that I'm a confident, reliable driver and able to travel as required to support clients and care packages. Boom. Right? You go back to the cover letter, and then you can just add it here, make some tweaks. Right. And because now we have having learned and having read twice, it's not going to look that good. But you can do. But you get the point. Like, this is how you do it. Right? This is how you do it. Search them up, look into them, research them, and apply what you learned from them to your cover letter and your CV. And avoid repetition. Don't copy your CV word for word. The cover letter should complement the CV. Highlight impact, personality, and motivation. So in your CV is all about who you are, your experience, your skills, right? It's a what and a how. However, the cover letter is the why. So they should not be repetitive because they're different. In cover letter, it should be all about why it should be you, why they should hire you and only you. So they complement each other. So now you have the what, the how, and the why together. And that makes your application much stronger than the other ones that may only have just what, or maybe even, what and how, or maybe even just what, because they didn't add the how they did the things in their CVs. And if you have all of that, if you have the what, how, and why, I just imagine how much better that would look for you. How much better that would be for you. So you need to make sure these cover letters is more of a why you. So if you go through your cover letter now, integrate the key requirements for the job advert. Use one short example per skill to illustrate your fit. So if you go back, let's go and choose another job. All right, and let's do accountant. And could just choose this one, for example, and then go to the requirements. Okay, so they put it as who they are looking for. So they need someone with significant knowledge of management, accounting. Okay, so they need a manager basically. So in your covering letter, for example, you can use this as an example. In your covering letter, you should say something like, I have managed a team of this many people, and I have a lot of experience doing, management. I would be a perfect fit because of my expertise in management, in accounting, of course. So use that in your covering letter. This is just an example, a quick example here. You can also, choose this one as, again, communication skills. Say that you have a lot of communication skills. So that should also be a reason why they should hire you. You know? So that's what you do. It's very, very simple. But I don't know, so many people don't do it anyway. Because they think it's too long and but it's so much it's definitely worth it. Now the format as well. So it needs to be very clear. So the clarity is very important in your cover letter. Keep paragraphs short. So 3 to 5 lines ish. Right, that's typical. Doesn't have to be exactly that. But that's a good range, I would say. Use use bullets sparingly if helpful. And ensure your cover letter is visually clean. Recruiters spend seconds scanning your cover letter as well. Same with the CV.
And at all. Write confidently,
but professionally. Avoid casual slang or overly formal language. Aim for approachable authority that shows enthusiasm. So you need to show some sort of a enthusiasm. Be excited that you're being given this opportunity to apply for this job. Show some excitement, and don't use slang words. I mean, that's a obvious thing, but still, don't do it, and don't be too formal as well. So it sounds overly technical. So be yourself, really, in your covering letter, but show excitement as well, and do it professionally and confidently. Show that you are a confident person. So if you reformat your draft, checking readability and tone, make each paragraph easy to scan and impactful. So again, if we go back to creating cover letter, let's do this again. So we go, just copy all of this. So this here. Okay. This is a quick example. And go open ChatGPT. Now, and just paste all of that. Then we just simply write me a covering letter for this role. I am a accounting manager. Right, just quickly. Let's see what it writes. Because I just want to get the format. Right, don't focus too much about the content. I also all about the format. And this is the format that we should have. This is good. You have paragraphs. It should be like an actual letter. I mean, hence the word cover letter. So you say, dear hiring manager. Now, if you know the name of the hiring manager, even better. Put that in there if you know. If you don't, then you could say hiring manager. That's fine. But usually, well, not necessarily always, usually, but if you go back to the actual job, you go to the company. It doesn't look like they have a link to their website, but we can always Google it. Go here. But it looks like it's this one here. And sometimes, not always, sometimes they would have an About Us page and Meet a Team. Consultants. Here, Meet a Team. So sometimes the hiring manager would be here. Right. I'm not sure if I will find it here, but you get the point. This is what you do. So you go to the Meet a Team, About a Team, see if you can find the hiring manager, and then just put the name there. And sometimes it'd be in the actual job description. So down at the bottom, usually, be like, here's an email address or the name of the person. Sometimes it does do so. So you could do that as well. But again, when it comes to the format, this is how it is. A letter, like It's like you're writing a letter to someone.
Okay. انت شو في؟
لا شوف يعني شو في؟
أنا عم بشتغل، عم بصور، شو في؟ شو في؟
يوسف بدي اخذ هذا
طيب.
بدي اخذها
طيب تعالي.
لما خاطر يطلع لي اياها.
ايش الافراد وينهم؟
انا بتفرج وين لانش بوكس.
طيب يلا. Ja.
Right, so if you look at its cover letter, it mentions I'm confident, right? Like we talked about before. Show confidence, be professional, have a right tone. I could maybe add or adjust to say be more excited, but still professional. Right? This would show that they are more excited, right? I'm very excited to be applying. Okay, so we are now giving them a good tone as well. So we are happy to be offered this job. Very simple. Again. Right. Check and readability, easy to read, tone is good, easy to scan, impactful, excited and confident professional. And proofread it. Check for your grammar, spelling mistakes, any formatting errors, mistakes, reduce credibility immediately. Because it shows laziness. Okay. You could be, incredible in grammar, English grammar, and spelling and all that. But if there is a mistake there, that means you didn't check your CV before, or you didn't check properly before you send a CV. And that shows laziness, and that's not something they typically like. Alignment. Ensure each paragraph reinforces your fit for the role and demonstrates unique value compared to other applicants. Again, we took something that stood out that we drive in the previous example. That could be unique value compared to other applicants. Or in the accountancy management, that you have experience in management, communication skills, and etc. Just anything that adds more unique value to yourself. And then if you read your cover letter aloud or share with someone else, edit anything that's unclear or weak. Make it polished and ready for submission. Right, go through your cover letter. Make sure, is it excited? Right, is it exciting? Are you showing that you're excited to apply for this role? Is it professional? Any mistakes in there? Any grammar mistakes or spelling? Check all that and polish it, and then you send it. And you combine with the CV, okay? So attach your optimized CV that we made. Ensure file names are professional, because they can also see your file names, right? Make sure they are professional, not something funny or inappropriate. It could just be simply your first name, last name, and CV. Or it could be the role even. It could be your first name, and then the role name, the name of the role, and CV. Same thing with cover letter. But make sure, I would advise, make it consistent. So if you choose first name, last name, CV, do the same for the cover letter as well. First name, last name, cover letter. And then track applications. Record the roles you applied for, the dates, and any follow-up needed. This creates accountability and allows you to measure with which applications generate responses, right? So record the roles that you apply for. You can use Excel sheet. Put the name of the company, the name of the role, what date, all that. And if they don't reply, let's say 2 weeks down the line, you can, or less than that, 1 week down the line, or it depends on the deadline of the job. If they don't reply, then you can follow up. Just send them an email or even contact them. That will definitely show some interest from your side. And you can also check which CV or which cover letter made you receive more responses. So you can find some sort of pattern that way. So if you submit your first tailored or fully tailored application while watching, okay, so this is what you're going to do then. Note the company role, note the company, the role, and date in a simple tracker to follow up strategically. Right, so we open up like just an example, Excel. Just quickly. Something you can do. right? Just a blank one. And then the first here can be
Company. Nej.
we just make it a bit bigger, like so. And then the role name.
The date.
Right, I'm just giving a quick one here example. You wrote the company name, so if you go back to the actual application we made, which was this one here, so you could take down the company name, header here, make it even okay. Again, the role name, which is this.
Yeah, like so.
Right? And I'm hoping you're following along, by the way. Because whenever I do these things, you should do the same as well. Okay. And then just today's date. Right, so now it's 24th of January 2026.
Right.
And then you can also add things like follow-up. So this is when you follow up. And you can, what I recommend is you put the date down when you did follow up. Or you can also do deadline. So sometimes they will say, in the job application, they will say when they need someone. Now, not always, but sometimes. I would typically wait for a week. If you don't get a response within a week, follow up. Okay, you could just go to the company here, contact us. You could call them straight away. You could say, hey, I made an application the other day for this role that you advertised. However, I never received a response. Right? They're not going to ignore you. Most likely, they're going to actually take action and then see what's happened. They might say, oh, we're still, waiting for another week. You can say, okay, you note it down. So in the follow-up, you say, yes, I followed up. And then the date you did that. Let's see, it's a week from now. So let's say it's at the 1st, 26th. And if you find out the deadline, you can put it down there. And then you can also say down here what they said in the follow-up, or you can have another column for that. Right? If they said, oh, we're still waiting for another week, you can put that down. Or, you was rejected or whatever. Whatever they said, just put it down there. And you do this for every single application you make. And then you can find some sort of a pattern as well. Which type of cover letter was the best, for example? Well, which type of role was the best for me? Which one gave me the most responses? This role or that role, this level, everything.
Okay.
So now just a summary, what we did. Grab attention quickly regarding the cover letter. Make sure the first paragraphs are the one that actually hooks the reader. Show value clearly, show why they should hire you, which we talked about. Tailor the application properly. Make sure the cover letter is specifically for that role. And then track submissions effectively, like we showed you. And as always, if you're enjoying this course, I hope you do, find it valuable, you can always book a free one-to-one UK job strategy call with me. There's the link. You just copy that, paste it in the URL, and it's completely free. I discuss with you one-to-one how I can help you find a job that you want in the UK. Okay? And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.